Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another round. Well, rather the first round here of the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. We are here today at Daytona International Speedway for the Beach Blast 250. My name is Mason Heimbaugh, in the booth here tonight, bringing you the action with Team Goon Squad, 1080p, 60 frames a second. Folks, I hope you all are excited for the race here tonight. And no, unfortunately, Gareth McAllister will not be able to join me here tonight as he is all the way in Japan at the moment. So, as jealous as I am fortunate to be here tonight to bring you all the action here and be able to bring on the show here in lieu of all of that. So, as drivers get themselves up on the starting grid here, let's go ahead and quickly run through that. Aaron Smith and Nicholas Corcel going to be up in the front row. Tony Hilbrands, Ashley Lyle taking up the second row. Howie Briss, James Coulibaly taking up our third row. Nicholas Lovell and Howie Detrey going to be in our third row here. And Logan Jones, Scott Shire going to be in our fifth row. Mark Proctor and Nathan Gutierrez will be in our sixth row here as we move ourselves down the grid. Just here, Sean Williams, Jeffrey Fisher taking up our seventh row. Steve Bullrich, Thomas Sewell in our eighth row. Jaden Hopp, Spencer Chisnall, in our ninth row. Jason Tamer, Michael Ashmore in our, I lost track here already. Michael Keithley, James Miller, 21st and 22nd. Tom Mercia, Matthew Fitz going to be in 23rd and 24th. Ourselves down the grid. That's all going to be in our lineup here today. And before we get ourselves, oh no, it's back with a vengeance. That is not what I want to see here tonight. Let's actually sort that out here. All right, and before we get ourselves started here, I would like to say a message here from our very own Howie Briss. As for those of you who may or may not know, Howie Briss's grandmother did pass away. So he did have a message that he would like me to say here tonight. Back in January 26th, I lost one of the greatest grandparents and one of my biggest supporters in sim racing, Jill Cameron, aka grandmother. She was always there at the very start of racing on this platform until the day that she passed away. The season will be hard this year, not having every Monday nights. Excuse me, let me reread that. This season will be hard. This year, having her not here every Monday nights, I still feel she would still want me to keep on racing, keep getting wins. So, a message from Howie Briss to his now passed away grandmother. So, my heart goes out to Howie Briss, and hopefully for those of you watching here tonight, show we have Howie Briss and his family in the hearts here tonight. So, Howie, great to see you out here. Great to see the 97 back out here after a phenomenal championship last year in the 2022 season, and showing a little bit of support here to his grandmother and keeping her in his heart and mind as he continues on his passion of sim racing with his friends and probably at this point, probably a little bit of family at this point. But that is not all that we are here for here tonight. We are here for some excellent racing, for some excellent action, and I am here for all of that. And Don Hilbrand says it is hard to hear me, so let's go ahead and get that corrected here before we move on any further. Let's get that just tuned down here just a little bit. We'll go ahead and get that fixed here. Just give me a moment here, folks. Hopefully that's a little bit better, and as we have the green flag coming out here tonight at Daytona for the Beach Blast 250 here for the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. 100 laps that we will see in total here tonight. Tony Hilbrand's Nicholas Corcel going to be up in the front row, as we also saw Aaron Smith coming out here a little late out from pit road. Uncertain what that is here at the moment. I might have to go back and check my notes here. And Don Hilbrand saying so far yes. So perfect. That is all. That is all I have to know at the moment. We'll just keep on rolling with it here tonight. But so far, going to be stacked up about 3 deep here, 2 wide up in the front row. A little bit of 3 wide action towards the back of the field here, a little bit too far back. And we have one of the newcomers here as well up in the front row. And Nathan Gutierrez in the 07 machine as well, just tracking along just a little bit behind the main pack here. But so far, the biggest mover, the biggest shaker in the field is Michael Keithley in the number 53 machine, currently up 14 spots from where he started here today. So doing a phenomenal job here in that orange and green 53 machine. Always great to see Michael Keithley out here performing well, and some familiar faces that you will see up here in the front row, as well as you'll see Nicholas Corcel, Tony Hilbrands, Ashley Lyle, James Coulibaly, all going to be up here in the front row. And Corcel currently keeping himself up in the front in the 45 Sour Patch Kids machine, and doing a phenomenal job of it, as well as he's going to come down from the top lane out in front of Tony Hilbrands in the 92 machine. And Tony Hilbrands also looking to have a good start to his season here, and so far doing so very early on in tonight's race at Daytona. And it's going to be, well, can't really say it's going to be a battle of wits and attrition. I mean, a little bit of that, but ultimately at the end of the day here at Daytona, it's going to come down to, well, who the track is going to favor here tonight, because as we all know, it is going to happen. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to save it for later, for when it does happen, because you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned, keep yourself in the action here, as we're getting quite a lot of action here from the front of the field. Let's go ahead and ride on board with one of our drivers here. Let's ride on board here. Nicholas Corcel falling way down as he's going to drop down to the bottom apron here. Not sure if that was a penalty being served, a slowdown penalty being served to Corcel, or if that was just a mistake on his part, getting a little bit wide there. Not exactly certain, but back to what we were talking about here, back to what we were doing. We're going to take a moment to ride on board here with James Coulibaly and just get an idea to see what it is like here on the inside of one of these machines. And I gotta say, you know, racing here at Daytona is always a great fun time, but 100 laps or more, it definitely can get rather interesting rather quickly. Don Hilbrand's asking what is a slowdown penalty, and normally you'll see that more often in road course racing than you will in oval, so I highly doubt that was the case here, as we're starting to see the field get a little bit too close for comfort for one another, as James Coulibaly going to fall down the pace here quite a bit here. Jaden Hopp as well in the number 81 machine. Marcus Vergol hitting the nail right on the head there with that explanation. So yeah, if you go, say, I know, well, for those of you that aren't aware for it, during the 24 Hours of Daytona, the event that happened here on iRacing, there was a little bit of, well, there was a little bit of an issue with how one of the teams, one of the drivers, was handling, well, was going around the track. Essentially, they were going below the yellow line, using what is essentially considered an off-track area. And, well, they were taking that to their advantage, given that iRacing did not serve a penalty for that. But that is neither here nor there. We are here for this race. And so hopefully that is maybe not the case. I'm not entirely certain if there was any updates since then to this track specifically. But, again, that is neither here nor there, as driver's still going, we're still racing, still green flag, so everything's still hunky-dory as far as I can tell. No one's exactly, well, sent it into the wall quite yet, and hopefully we won't see that here tonight. I would really love to see a full green flag run of Daytona here. That would just be absolutely incredible to see, as we're still working on some things up here in the booth. Just trying to make sure that everything sounds as pleasant as it can. But Howie Bress, Michael Keithley, Tony Hillbrands, Ashley Lyle are going to be up in the front at the moment, taking your top 4 spots. Not much is changing at the moment. Ever since that little bit of a debacle just a few laps ago, a few turns ago. Everything seems to be settling back down, and everyone's getting their head back into it, getting their groove back in. But Michael Keithley and Howie Bress both going to duke it out for the lead at this moment. Marcus Regal saying there is no yellow line rule. So okay, so I'm not exactly, maybe just got stepped out of the lane there a little bit, lost the draft, and unfortunately got passed. But Tony Hillbrands getting all the way out to the top lane here. Gonna see if he can make anything happen, as we've also got Ashley Lyle trying to push as much. Oh boy, there's trouble here, as the number 3 Logan Jones makes contact into the 92 machine of Tony Hillbrands, and there's more trouble for Hillbrands. The 92 machine, Phenom Paint Shop machine gonna make its way, oh boy, unfortunately, into pit road. Yellow flag is gonna fly here. That's gonna allow drivers to get themselves kind of stacked back up and ready to go for another attempt here. But wow, what a way to sort of kick things off here. Not much could really have been done in that situation for any of those drivers. Really, let's see if we can take a look at the replay of that as well, as that was just quite the hit, I must say. We're going to have to hit the old replay, hit the old reverse button on the recorder to see what happened here. So really, Logan Jones kind of almost by himself. I think that might have been a little bit of net code in that as well, because if we go back and take a look, if we can get a little bit of a closer angle here, we might even have to go to Tony Hillbrands. If I can find him. There he is. All right. So we're going through 3 and 4. Okay. No, that definitely wasn't netcode. I think Logan Jones just got a little bit too wide through 3 and ultimately caused that collision there. But Tony Hillbrands couldn't do anything. He was already maxed out on that. Yeah, Marcus, that's not intended. Well, it was intended when I made it, but I've decided I'm not a fan of it anymore. All right, and while they're still getting themselves sorted out here, while the yellow flag is still flying, I'm also getting everything a little better, a little more dialed in for everyone, so it sounds a little bit better, and everything is a little bit more crisp sounding. Hopefully, everything doesn't sound well. If you're an audiophile like myself, then you'll know what I mean. But just to take a moment here to round through our field, we have Michael Keithley, Sean Williams going to be up in the front row, James Coulibaly, Jason Tamer going to be in our, second row, and Howie Brisson, Steve Ulrich going to be in our third row here today. All right, pace truck is back in the green flag flies once more here at Daytona. And Don, yes, Tony did get back out here. He's going to be in the back of the field at the moment, though, a little separated and going to be down a lap, unfortunately, at the moment. So Tony's going to have some work ahead of him. Not exactly out of the picture, but he's going to have to lock himself in. He's really going to have to put his head down and try and put himself in a good situation leading up to what will, well, now that drivers have come through, there was a bit of a pit stop run for most of the field here, so we might see a little bit of a later pit stop than normal, well, only by a few laps, but either way, that could affect drivers like Tony who have to sort of plan around that situation here. So far, Sean Williams, Howie Briss going to be leading the pack at the moment in the front and the top and bottom lanes here. Michael Keithley, as well as James Coulibaly, both going to be right on the bumpers of these two drivers. And Keithley really trying to stay right in it as well. You can take a look at that here as we get a ride on board here with the number 53 machine. And you can see just how much he's trying to push here. Great look at the action there, and just as we look a little bit further back here as well, let's look at some of the mid-runners as well as the back of the field. We're looking at Mark Proctor here. We've also got some new drivers that, well, have come over from the Team Goon Squad side, Mark Proctor being one of them. I don't believe I saw... I know there's more, but I don't think everyone came out here tonight, and that is A-okay. But Mark Proctor here in the number 36 machine, Doc Proc. Great to have one of the TGS guys over here. I believe Spencer Chisnall is also another TGS member as well, so great to have these guys on board. Racing with the folks over here at Velocity Racing League, and so far it's been great action, great racing, as Michael Keithley, the current hard charger of the race, going to be leading the field. The number 53 machine doing a phenomenal job here. Michael Keithley now going to have a battle. A lot of action around him as drivers continue to fight for positions and try to get a good run. As Nicholas Corso does the same here in the 45 Sour Patch machine, trying to get himself a good lead here with Howie Briss in tow as well. Aaron Smith is also on the move. Don Hilbrand's very, very good eye here. Great to have viewers like Don who do a little co-commentating here in the chat. Great to have you here, Don. I love having people like you. But Howie Briss, he's going to take the lead here as normally is expected from Howie. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a better look here from up above here. Get more of the field in the picture here. You can probably see at least the top 15, top 20 as we zoom a little bit further out here. But this is a good view of what it's kind of like. A huge track such as Daytona, you get these drivers that are all racing within inches, feet of one another. It's great. Ashley Lyle getting a very, very good run here up in the front row. She's now going to lead some laps here as Howie Briss continues to duke it out for that lead. And while it is only the first race of the season, it is a long season to look forward to. 36 races in total, if I do remember correctly. And I gotta say, it is going to be some action-packed racing throughout the 2023 season. I am definitely looking forward to more of this, and hopefully the folks at home are also looking forward to more of this racing here. Don Hilbrand's asking how far back is Tony Hilbrand's, and Tony's trying all that he can here, and Logan Jones is also another driver here that is looking to try and get himself back up in the mix of things, and looks to be that the pack has just caught up to him here as well in that number 3 machine, as he's starting to see the pack drive right on by him like a freight train. And folks, that's what happens here when you find yourself just trying to catch back up or do anything here, is that once that pack catches up to you, you have no choice but to just get out of the way and try and be avoided as best as possible. Michael Keithley, Ashley Lyle, both trying their best here to fight for this lead spot, and it seems that everyone is doing this slingshot move, trying to get up into the middle lane, get a good run, get some good draft work up there, and be able to make that dive down to the bottom here. As Howie Briss, you can see, seeing if anyone's going to pack up with him here. He's got the 22 of James Coulibaly just behind him, as well as Nicholas Corso, all looking to do the same here. And we can even see drivers like Aaron Smith trying to get up into the front as well, and he looks to be very close here, as a lot of the field is starting to get real bunched up here in the front row. Great action that we're seeing from these drivers. getting a ride on board here with Steve Ulrich, the number 52 machine, currently sitting 10th place at the moment, just kind of looking from a perspective relatively midfieldish, but just inside the top 10 here. Robert Cameron, thank you all for honoring my mother. And Robert, it is a pleasure, and hopefully by doing this race and hopefully by continuing to show support for Howie Brisson, everything that he does as a driver here in Velocity Racing League puts a smile on her face up there, wherever she might be. So, Robert, thank you for joining us here tonight and enjoying the show, and hopefully it's been a good one so far. Talented group of individuals these drivers are indeed. We've got a great group of drivers, a great group of people in general, all supportive of one another and all just looking to put on some good racing and just have fun with one another at the end of the day. So it's a truly great group and a great league to be a part of, if it's something that you're looking for, just a truly wholesome group, if you will. But we've got some great action on the screen here. I'm resisting talking about it at the moment, just getting to talk about these things, but I gotta say, this is starting to get me on the edge of my seat here. Lap 25 of 100, a quarter of the way through tonight's race. Beach Blast 250 for the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Aaron Smith on an excellent run here in the number 70 machine, keeping up in the front here and going to have a chance to lead some laps here. Aaron Smith, no time at all before we seen the lean, mean yellow banana up in the front of the pack here, and it's great to see it as Howie Briss is going to give him a run for his money alongside Nicholas Corcel and Michael Keithley. Get a little bit more of the blimp action here, get a little bit more of the field in the picture, as we've got some great action happening at the front, but we also want to keep an eye on everything happening around the field, as there's always action to be seen, as Daytona never fails to excite. As you can see, these guys, they're rubbing each other's bumpers up here in the front of the pack, as that draft is getting real strong between these drivers, all fighting for positions, and frankly starting to see more and more of the field get collected into this front pack. We can kind of see that here as we're taking a little bit of a look at the back of this field, well, not the back of the field, but of this pack that's starting to form here. Anathian Gutierrez in the 07 machine, sitting here in 10th place. You can kind of see where that 10th place line has kind of formed. Tom Garcia in the 68 machine going to be up on the top row here of the 07 machine at this moment. So we've got some drivers that are kind of lurking towards the back, and frankly, I wish Gareth was here so we could kind of talk about this a little bit, because I feel like this is a question that comes up almost every time we're in a super speedway, which this is a great example, wow, of what I'm about to talk about here, and it's whether or not you're someone that likes to lead the pack, be in the middle, or stay kind of towards the back. And I've always said that being towards the back of the field, while it's not always the best looking to yourself as a driver, but you can get a better chance to avoid things such as wrecks, collisions, just drivers getting a little bit loose here or there. You have time to react, you have time to give yourself room, whereas if you're up in here in the front like these guys are right now, your time is limited, and oftentimes it's not going to be enough. So These guys doing a phenomenal job here at the moment, just trying to keep themselves in the mix of things and really not trying to make any major mistakes here. Lap 29 of 100. We will see these guys come down into pit road here, I think, before too long. Excuse me, as we start to see a third line form with, I believe that's going to be... Trying to find who that is there. Their car appears to be a different number than what... Nope, it's Tom Mercia. I am just a silly goose. Anyway. 3 wide up in the front row. Nicholas Corcel, Aaron Smith, Howie Briss, all going to take it for everything here early on in the race and really just giving them a good practice session here before the checkered flag flies here tonight. But look at just how confident these drivers are, going 3 wide here at Daytona, lap 30 of 100. This is phenomenal racing, folks. I mean, you can't get it better than... You can't get it any better than this. This is just fantastic racing that you can find on the iRacing service. Velocity Racing League provides some of the best cup racing with the ARCA that I have ever seen. It's phenomenal. Corcel, Smith going to be almost touching doors with one another as they come across the checkered line, heading back into turn number 1. Ashley Lyle, Michael Keithley, both going to be in that second row, staying right on the bumpers. And you can see it, these 2 rows at the moment are 4 deep and slowly trickling in more drivers. And really, again, these guys that are kind of lurking towards the back of the field, they're going to have the best opportunity to keep themselves away from anything that may, or, well, unfortunately for them, may not happen if these guys and gals keep this race as clean as it has been all night long. As Don Hilbrand says it, yeah, it is some great racing here tonight, and I gotta say, it's impressive. If you are a member of the iRacing service, you're definitely not going to find some racing like this in the public lobbies. That is for sure. And if you want to get yourself in on some of this, get yourself in the Velocity Racing League Discord. Sign up and see if you got what it takes to be a champion here in the Cup Series. Aaron Smith, Michael Keithley, Nicholas Corcel. 3 wide action between Ashley Lyle, Corcel, Michael Keithley. Aaron Smith trying to do all that he can to stay in the front here, but really it's all going to be a battle for the lead here all race long. Let's go ahead and check in with some of our drivers towards the back of the field, and let's just give them a little bit of a give them a shout out. Let's see how they're doing. Logan Jones here in the number 3 machine, gonna be back all the way at the back of the field at the moment, but doing all that he can given the circumstances here tonight. Gonna be down, I think, 2 or 3 laps here for Jones, but again, keeping himself in the race, not calling it quits here. You gotta give credit to where credit is due, and Logan Jones is definitely not a quitter. He's gonna be out here all race long, and I hope to see him cross the line here tonight. And frankly, hopefully he'll be able to make up a lap or 2, and if there is a chance of another wreck, there might be hope here for drivers like Logan Jones, as well as Tony Hilbrands, who have also similarly been unfortunate here tonight. Going to be down, I believe, the same number of laps. I think 1 less. I think Tony's only down 2 laps at the moment. But these 2 drivers are the only ones who have found themselves in a little bit of a, well, not the best situation here tonight. Thomas Sewell in the number 77, going to be in 22nd here at the moment. Howie Dietrich in the 34 machine just ahead of him at the moment. These are sort of the back markers here for this entire field, or for the pack at the moment, and it's really good to see that a lot of this field hasn't really spread out too much here. Howie Dietrich, Thomas Sewell, kind of, again, the back markers of this pack here as we move ourselves just a little bit further up with Michael Ashmore in the number 98 machine. You can see in that bright pink. I love that paint scheme. It's a very unique paint scheme. I love that one. Scott Shire, the number 4 machine, going to be up in 19th with Jeffrey Fisher, the 06, taking 18th at the moment. James Miller, the 09 machine, duking it out there with Tom Mercia in the number 68. It's surprising to see Tom Mercia down here, though, as he was up in the front of the field, it seemed like, for some time. Now starting to fall back here just a little bit. Nicholas Lovell going to be in 15th. Mark Proctor in 14th. Steve Ulrich going to be in 13th here. Jaden Hopp taking that 12th place spot here at the moment. Spencer Chisnall in the 11th place spot. And Nathan Gutierrez in 10th. Jason Tamer in 9th. Matthew Fitz going to be 8th place. Nicholas Corcel in 7th. Sean Williams in 6th. Howie Briss taking that 4th place spot. Michael Keithley battling for 4th place. Aaron Smith, Ashley Lyle, and James Koulibaly rounding out the field here at the moment. So lap 38 of 100 here. We can see Tony Hilbrand's staying all the way on the bottom as close as he can, trying to stay out of the way of the rest of the field here. Unfortunately going to put himself another lap down, but there's not much you can do in that situation, especially when you're out of the draft. Again, you're all alone by yourself. Logan Jones also going to be in the same situation here, the number 3 machine. But perhaps Logan Jones and Tony Hilbrands could link up with each other, draft a little bit, and maybe get a little bit of speed out of the two of them drafting together. But I'm not exactly certain how well or effective that will be in this situation. Lap 39 of 100. I do expect drivers to be thinking about pit road here before too long, as, again, that last caution that we had around lap 10, lap 11, somewhere in that neighborhood there, or lap 10 it was. Drivers did come in between lap 11 and lap 13. So I would expect that tires are going to be starting to feel pretty slick here, and the car's going to be feeling rather tight to drive here at this point. So I'm not exactly certain how long these drivers are going to want to stay out for. So 40 to 45 laps is our fuel window here, and there are unlimited GWCs for this race here tonight. So if it's a caution fest going into the final lap of the race here tonight, which Daytona seems to kind of have that effect on some series, or well, most races that are seen here. Hopefully that won't be the case here tonight, but Aaron Smith and Howie Briscoe both going to be still duking it out for the lead here tonight. And talking about winners here at Daytona and for the Beach Blast 250, last year's winner was Jeffrey Fisher, who currently at the moment is sitting 17th in the 06 machine. So it just goes to show here how Daytona can really have a huge impact on drivers that sometimes don't see themselves up in the front of the field. I mean, you see it even in real life racing, the NASCAR series, where drivers who may have never won a race in their entire racing career show up at Daytona and end up walking away victorious. It's just kind of the nature of how it is, and we've got trouble up towards the front of the field as I try to figure out who it was. So Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith had a little bit of an issue here. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Oh boy, okay, we're gonna have to hit the old rewind button here, folks. It seems to be a little spicy up here in the front of the field. Alright, this seems like a good place to... Let's take a look. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no. Okay, so I don't know if any of you, well, I don't know if most of you caught that. I'm fairly certain most of you did. But Aaron Smith got a little bit of contact, a little bit of help here from Howie Brisson. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with Mr. Briss, and you'll see exactly what I mean. There's that contact to the rear. It looks to be a little bit of net code involved in that one here as well, but looking from above, you can see the carnage unfold, at least for Howie Brisson. Some other drivers getting involved as well, it seems. Nathan Gutierrez, Jason Tamer, Matthew Fitz, Thomas Sewell. Those are the names I can see off the top of the list here at the moment, but man, oh man, this is not the situation that these drivers want to be in. But for drivers such as Tony Hilbrand's and Logan Jones, this could be a blessing in disguise, as again, you'll be able to make back some of those laps. Tony is currently working on making back at least one lap here. I'm not sure if he's going to try and make back another one. I think this might be... He might have one more chance here. I think he's going to have one more chance before the race is over to make back those laps. And I think he just might be able to pull that off. Getting a look at pit road here, as well as drivers making their way in and out of the pits here, trying to get a fresh set of tires as well as fuel. I believe that will be mostly everyone other than a handful of drivers that have yet to make their way in or out of the track. And it actually looks like a good handful of drivers are going to make their way down into the pits now as well. Mark Proctor, Spencer Chisnall, Nicholas Coruscant, James Miller, Nicholas Lovell, and Jeffrey Fisher, Howie Briss, Tom Mercia, all going to make their way down into the pits now as well. As Don Hillbrands puts it, lots of close racing, and it doesn't take much. And Robert Cameron rubbing his racing, even in the Cup, and that's 100% true, and that's exactly what we're going to see here tonight, especially at Daytona, as that is, well, super speedways. That's what they're known for, and that's what makes them so exciting, is that rubbing. As the pace truck is back in, the green flag back out here once again, here for the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Ashley Lyle, Jason Tamer taking the front of the field, and Nathan Gutierrez, James Coulibaly going to be in that second row here, trying to track these two down and also give them support. Ashley Lyle seeming to get the most draft support here, as she's getting a good run down the back straightaway heading into turn number 3. Jason Tamer trying to do everything that he can to keep himself up in the front of the pack here. And at the moment, Jason Tamer, even with only one car behind him, still fast enough to stay just almost door-to-door here with Ashley Lyle. Right as I'm saying that, Lyle getting a very good run here in the 51 machine. Might be able to drop down to the bottom. Definitely has enough room here. But I do also want to make a note here that, again, for those of you who maybe are just now tuning in or missed the announcement at the beginning of the broadcast, but Howie Briss did have a family member very close to him pass away, his grandmother, and drivers are showing support for Howie Briss and his family by also, I believe, if I could get a good camera angle on it, I could show you all, but I don't think my camera crew was quite set up for that here today. But some drivers are running a photograph of Howie Briss's grandmother on the hood of their cars here tonight in honor of her. And again, I wish I could show a little bit of a better preview of that. Perhaps I can. That's about to. I'm sorry. I tried. Maybe our helicopter will have a little. No dice. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I want to take a moment here while the racing is still going, while the green flag is still out here. I want to thank every one of you for tuning in here today. Everyone who shows up for these races week in and week out. And after the phenomenal season that we had last year, it's great to see the support continue here into 2023. So it's really, truly great to see everyone here again this season and to see everyone enjoying the show. It seems like everyone so far is having a good time, and hopefully, in spite of my co-commentator, Gareth McAllister, not being able to be here. Wow, look at this. James Coulibaly, who are you? What in the world was that? Like, the cat on the front of his hood is perfect for what just happened there, because that move was like a cat out of nowhere. That was, wow. James, I don't know, I think he, I'm bringing this back up from last year. He was like Dominic Toretto, reaching underneath the seat, popping on the NOS valve, and just letting her eat. That was, wow. Wow. Incredible move from James Coulibaly. That just seemed to pop out of nowhere. Maybe I just was looking away and happened to look at the right time, but that seemed to have came out of nowhere from James Coulibaly. Great work here from the 22 driver as he continues his run alongside Ashley Lyle. Up in the front row here, Michael Keithley, Howie Briss taking up the oh boy, okay. You know what? I think that was a very clear, okay, I'm done, you guys take over. You know what? And I think for a lot of us that have started out on the iRacing service have been there at least once with the oval racing, you know, just being like, I don't want any more of this. That's all I can do for the moment. You guys take over, have your fun. And thank you, Dawn, for the kind words. I truly appreciate it. Not always easy to do a solo show by yourself, but hopefully I do a good enough job and make it entertaining for everyone watching at home. That's always the goal at the end of the day, is that everyone is enjoying themselves and having a good time, and man, enjoying the racing here, because I gotta say, this is some fantastic action that we have forming up here in the front of the field. Lap 51 of 100, just over halfway in tonight's race. 49 laps left to go here for the Daytona 250. Well, the Beach Blast 250, excuse me. Three wide action here starting to form once again, and not only three wide action, but almost three wide, three deep there for a moment. Drivers backing out of that situation, though. Not gonna let that one get too spicy there. But for these guys up here in the front, and gal Ashley Lyle continuing to show her dominance here tonight, as she's still up in the front of the field, battling with the likes of Howie Briss, Nicholas Corso, Michael Keithley, who all seem determined to come home with the win here tonight. And again, Ashley Lyle, you know, she's a great topic to talk about here, as last year she wasn't quite able to attend every single race for the 2022 season, but this year she made it a point that she was going to be here for, I believe, almost every single race if everything worked out for her. She planned to be here, and I gotta say, I'm excited to see another strong contender here in the Cup Series. Gonna give both Howie Briss, Aaron Smith, and the like a good run for their money here, as there's gonna be some stiff competition this year. Robert Cameron saying this is better than Cup, and you know what, Robert, I was actually watching the Xfinity race at Daytona the other day while I was at work, and I gotta say, I wanted to claw my eyes out. Yeah, anyway, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But anyway, Ashley Lyle, Howie Briss, both doing a phenomenal job here tonight. Down the back straightaway here at Daytona, we're seeing quite a bit of bobbing and weaving happening here, but for the most part, drivers are trying to keep in that draft, just trying to give that push that they need to secure those positions, try and push themselves up this field here as best as they can. Don Hilbrand saying Gareth would be in heaven with Porcel up there all race. Oh yeah, you know, the Sour Patch Kids jokes would be through the roof here tonight, and I'm all for it. Hopefully Gareth is having a great time though in Japan, and hopefully when he comes back, he is ready to get in on some of this action here, because I gotta say, he is definitely missing out. So you folks, make sure in not next week, but the week after, when Gareth does come back, that you all give him plenty of grief for missing out the past two races. Show me some support, show me some backup. I'm only kidding, folks. You don't have to do that. But what you do have to do is make sure you tune in for those races, because I gotta say, it is going to be quite the show, and I am going to be excited to bring that action for you all here this year. And let me see if we get a look here at the rest of the season here, where we are heading for the next few weeks here. Next week we are heading to Sebring International Raceway for the Sebring 200. Some road course action to open up the second race of the season. I gotta say, I am excited for that, as well as some other drivers here who I believe are here exclusively, mainly exclusively, for the road course racing. Justin Krasinski from Team Goon Squad, another driver that is here in the series, but not here tonight, unfortunately. But I do hope to see Justin here this season for the road course races, and to also give a little bit of challenge here to Aaron Smith, the current dominator of the road courses here in Velocity Racing League. So looking forward to that. And the week after that, we will be heading to USA International for the Gator 200. Back to some little short track racing, relatively short track, not super short, but pretty short. I gotta say, I love the variety that Tony Hilbrands puts, well, Tony and the team behind Velocity Racing League and the Cup Series. I love the work that they put into the schedule, making it a healthy variety of tracks, and going through a variety of disciplines, if you will. Granted, all with the same car, but having short track racing, super speedways, your normal ovals, road courses, it's all just a great mix of racing that we have here. And here we go. There's exactly what I was hoping to see earlier. Like I mentioned, Tony Hilbrands and Logan Jones both kind of getting into a little bit of a small pack of themselves and trying to just work with one another and keep themselves from going down too much further. And it seems to be that might have actually worked out, because while the main pack has passed them, it seems to be that they have now regrouped with that pack and are now going to be hopefully able to stay with them and not get lapped down any further. As there they go, they're right on the back of the main pack, but still, again, going to be down a few laps here. So it's going to take a miracle for them to be able to get all of those laps back. But the fact that they're still out here, they're still racing, is a credit in its own right here. As trying to see who that was there. Oh, that was Thomas Sewell. Unfortunately, finding himself also down a few laps here. Gonna have to get below the yellow line, let the field on by. Lisa saying, Jaden loves road courses. Me, his mom, I prefer super speedways and intermediate tracks. And, you know, that's the thing that I love about this schedule, is that it offers not only the drivers, again, a healthy variety of tracks, but it also offers the viewers a great variety to look at and to experience. I'll agree, the road course racing can be a little, if you're new to the sport or new to watching racing in general, it can be a little difficult to pay attention to the whole time, because racing isn't always like the super speedways where you have cars bunched up together the entire time. Oftentimes, road courses especially, the field gets spread out, and a lot of times you're just waiting for things to happen, and not everyone is all about that, and I 100% understand that. But that is also why we have these super speedways, and that is what this great action brings us. And frankly, I love it. But we also have tracks kind of like Michigan International, my hometown track, or well, not necessarily hometown track, but in my home state track, that aren't super speedways and offer great racing as well. The multi-lane groove plate racing, it's just phenomenal. It's great to see. So Nicholas Coruscant, Howie Briss, Michael Keithley, all going to be... Oh, boy. Whoa, Ashley Lyle getting a little chaotic there, but keeping it together. Let's actually take a moment here. I want to ride on board with one of our drivers, with Ashley Lyle here. Why not? Let's take a ride on board here with Ashley Lyle in... Oh, Michael Keithley, you know what? This is just, I hope you folks at home can see this, because this is just, wow. Gareth, you are missing out, buddy. You are missing out. And Matthew Fitz getting to join us for the first time live in the number 69 machine. Welcome to the show, buddy. It's great to have you, and hopefully you're enjoying the action here as Ashley Lyle getting a very good run here up into the second row, right behind Howie Briss, trying to see what she could do here, giving Howie a bit of a push here, and see if Howie can drop down to the bottom lane here and leave an opening for herself to be able to do exactly the same. There's actually plenty of room for both of them to drop in front of the 22 of James Coulibaly at the moment. There goes Ashley Lyle down to the bottom. Little bit of calamity here. They get themselves sorted back out there, but they were definitely spread out there for a second. That could have ended in catastrophe there, but luckily these drivers all keeping it together. And Howie Briss getting a very good run up at the front here with James Miller. Oh, whoa, Coruscant dropping down to the bottom lane here just in front of Lyle. Camera angle made it look like there was going to be contact there, but keeping it away from that. Howie Briss saying, no way, Jose, you are not going to take that top lane. Howie Briss throwing a very good block here. Oh, Lyle's getting, oh no, there's more trouble. Keithley gets into the side of the 07 of Nathan Gutierrez. Ashley Lyle all in the middle of it as well. Gets the contact to the front end. I think ultimately going to be able to walk away from that one relatively unharmed. Let's take a look at the flag here once again and see, get a little bit more of an idea of how this one unfolded, because wow, looks like Lyle just may have gotten kind of sandwiched between Coruscant and Keithley. Keithley goes down to the bottom into Nathan, and Nathan back up into both Lyle and Keithley. Don Hilbrands, I can't say it, but that is exactly what came to my head. Lyle, even with the damage, is going to stay out here. Hopefully nothing too bad happened to that. Well, as they're all going to come down into pit road, let's see how long she's going to be down there before she's able to get back out. Aaron Smith going a little bit past his stall here, but luckily able to back it back up. James Miller going to be the first one out of the pits here, and it's a race for everyone else to get back out now as well. All right, folks, so while we have a little bit of time here, while the yellow flag is out, we're going to go ahead and take a very short commercial break here. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss any of the action left here. Just under 40 laps left to go here. About 32 left to go here at Daytona for the Beach Blast 250 for the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back for more iRacing right here on Team Goon Squad. And welcome back, race fans. As it looks like the lights are off on the pace truck, so we will be going back to green flag here this time around as we make our way through 3 and 4. And Marcus Regal, thank you for that bit of information, a little bit of insider pit lane info. So Ashley Lyle, I was wondering how long she was going to have to be down in the pits for before she was able to come back out here. And John Ailbrands asked what he kind of just put up in the chat here, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it here. So if you have damage here in the iRacing service, as we're going to go back to green flag here with James Miller and Jaden Hopp up in the front row, Howie Briss and Sean Williams in the second row. Back to my point here. So if you take any kind of damage here in iRacing and you go down to the pits, there is two different types of time that you can see down in the pits once you make it into your pit box. So if you have significant damage that needs to be repaired, you have required time, which Ashley Lyle had 13 seconds that she needed to be in the pits for, additional to her regular pit time. So if most drivers' pit times here are about 11 to 14 seconds, you would have had to have served an additional 13 seconds to get that damage repaired as well. 8 minutes optional. That is just additional things that you don't necessarily need to fix, but you can fix if you would like to. Which 8 minutes of repair time isn't exactly ideal, so she forego that and is back out here on the track, but at the cost of being a lap down here now as well, or just under a lap here. She's now going to have to catch herself back up to the field, and you can see that car isn't exactly in the best of shape here. Turbo Z in the chat saying these cars are definitely softer than last year. And iRacing is always making constant updates to a lot of their cars and to their damage models. So I can't imagine that. I can only imagine what sort of things that they do to make these cars as quote-unquote realistic as possible. But I'd like to imagine that whatever they're doing is hopefully as close to the real-life counterpart as it possibly can be, as well. That defeats the whole purpose of the simulator in general. But either way, Marcus Regal saying these cars are paper, and oftentimes I think I would agree with you. Driving these cars, in my own experience, almost certainly what seems like the smallest bit of contact definitely shouldn't result in, well, shouldn't seem like it results in as much damage as it does, but sometimes the simulation decides otherwise, and iRacing says that you have taken too much damage and need to take it down into the pitch, which is unfortunate in a lot of cases. Lap 74 of 100. It's going to be 25 laps left to go the next time by. And James Miller, Sean Williams, and Jaden Hopp all in the front row here today with only 25 laps left to go. But anything can happen in these final 25 laps, and I gotta say, it's gonna feel like the longest part of the race here, I would have to imagine, for some drivers. Given all the excitement, all the tension, and all the build-up to this point here, not knowing where you're going to finish and seeing that 26 laps left to go come across, or, well, most likely being told to you from your crew chief, definitely spikes up the adrenaline just a little bit. Howie Briss, Jaden Hopp, both in the front row, but you can see James Miller, the 09 machine, giving a good push here. To Howie Briss, you can see the Tim Hortons machine right on the tail of Howie Briss, trying to do everything that he can, trying to give that push. And Howie Briss staying right there in that top lane with Jaden Hopp down low. And Aaron Smith here as well, looking to potentially bring another double-digit season here for the number 70 machine. Oh yeah, Marcus, it seems to be that we've been okay for the past while now, but you never know. They just never seem to go away entirely. They're like, never mind. I was gonna make a corny joke, but never mind. .24 laps left to go. Howie Briss back up in the front of the field. And Jaden Hopp doing everything that he can to try and fight for this lead. And Aaron Smith now also trying to give a good push here. Let's see if we can ride on board here with Aaron Smith from the helmet camera and get a little bit of a better view here with the number 70 driver. who again last year saw double-digit wins. Going to be looking to potentially get himself off to a good start this season by winning the very first race of the season as well. It's probably the most luck-induced race of the season here at Daytona for the Beach Blast 250. And Don, I was trying to think of one on the fly, and I thought of one, and I said it to myself in my head, and it sounded silly, so it just, no. It's one of those things, you know, where you get told as a kid, think before you speak. That's kind of what happened there. Aaron Smith now taking the lead here for the moment. Jeffrey Fisher in the 06 machine trying to give him a push here in the front. Jaden Hobb continues to staying on the bottom lane here. Thanks, Don. Jaden Hobb staying on the bottom lane here as we see Ashley Lyle trying to duck out of the way here, making sure that she's not going to get collided with the pack here. But a lot of this field starting to get bunched up here in the front. We've got newcomers up here: Jason Tamer, Mark Proctor, Spencer Chisnall, also up here in the main pack. All looking to see if they can come home with the win here for the very first time for the 2023 season and get themselves off to a very good start here. Jaden Hobb on a very, very good run here. Very impressed from what I'm seeing with Jaden at the moment. Staying extremely consistent, not letting any of these guys shake him up too much here. And really keeping himself fast here as the second lane, the top lane, has yet to see a driver, particularly Aaron Smith here, drop down to the bottom and really take the lead here. But so far, Jaden Hobb is not letting that happen, or at least not making that easy for anybody here tonight. Taking a ride on board here with Mark Proctor in the number 36 machine, or as we at Team Goon Squad like to call him, Doc Proc. I believe that's the right name. Up here in fourth place at the moment, trying to stay in line with the 62 of Jason Tamer and giving Aaron Smith a pass here into the top three with 18 laps left to go. Just that sound of all of these cars roaring at max throttle. Tony Hillbrand's unfortunately again finding himself getting passed by the main pack. That was a ride on board here with Mark Proctor in the number 36 machine. Oh boy. As somebody is having a little bit of trouble here. It looks to be Jaden Hopp. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Jaden Hopp suffering from a little bit of internet issues here, connection issue. And that's going to cause him to drop to the bottom of the field, as you don't want to be caught in that situation where a driver disappears in front of you and reappears in your hood. That is not ideal at all. And Jaden Hopp doing the right thing ultimately by getting out of the pack and just trying to figure out or let it sort itself out as best as he could. Unfortunately, it seemed to sort itself out right as he went out of the pack here, but I suppose sometimes that's the way it goes. But for Jeffrey Fisher here, the 06 machine, going to have a very good chance here in the 06 to take the lead and lead some laps here, potentially, if Aaron Smith doesn't take that away from him here at the moment, as Aaron Smith trying everything that he can to keep up in the front row. But now it's going to be a battle of the two rows here, and who is ultimately going to be the one lucky enough to be at the front when that checkered flag flies. And right now, it could be any single one of these drivers at the moment. Taking a look from up top in the blimp camera here as drivers make their way back through turns 1 and 2. You can get a good look of about roughly the top 15, it seems, from this angle, and even then it doesn't fully encapsulate the size of this racetrack. It is absolutely massive, and frankly, I wish I was fortunate enough to be able to see this track myself in person, but as of right now, I have yet to see see any of these tracks in real life. So hopefully one day I will be able to fulfill that dream and see these tracks myself in person. But it's incredible the size of some of these tracks and just how fast these cars truly are going. You can't fully appreciate it until you see it with your own two eyes, is the best way to describe it. We have got some interesting action forming up here in the front of the pack, and Aaron Smith is right in the middle of it along with Jeffrey Fisher. Things getting a little close for comfort there. The 36 machine, Mark Proctor, gets a little bump off the side there, falling to the bottom of the track, but is able to recover from that one. Oh boy, it is getting dicey here, folks. Howie Briss also getting into the mix of things as well. If you're not already on the edge of your seat, you will be here in a moment with 11 laps left to go. Jeffrey Fisher, Jason Tamer, both going to be up in the front now as Aaron Smith, Mark Proctor, well, and Howie Briss, really, all on a very good run here. Fisher and Tamer both duking it out for the lead at the moment, and Mark Proctor also, along with Aaron Smith, giving a push to these two guys. And at the moment, it seems like Fisher's going to have the faster car, the faster lane, as we take it back into turns 1 and 2. Fisher has yet to drop down to the bottom as Tamer closes that open gap there and prevents anyone to drop down in front of him. But here down the back straightaway, that door is only going to be open for only a moment, and Fisher's going to stay away from that one. Oh boy, there's trouble though in the midfield and beyond. Contact to Howie Briss. Oh no, and to Nicholas Lovell as well. With 8 laps left to go here for the Beach Blast 250. Let's take a look at this replay here because, oh man. So taking a look here, Howie Briss is going to be the one to get the contact here. And there it is from the 26 machine of Spencer Chisnall. Oh, and Sean Williams just narrowly missing that one here as well. But Howie Briss trying to do everything he can to try and save that machine. And here comes Nicholas Lovell doing everything he can to avoid it. But it is not going to be enough here, even getting onto the brakes. But again, just not going to have enough time to move out of the way or slow down. But some of the field here going to take the opportunity to make their way down into the pits here. Jason Tamer, Jeffrey Fisher, Mark Proctor, all going to be in the top 3 here at the moment. Excuse me. Alrighty, folks. So, with 6 laps left to go here, our 4th caution of the night. I gotta say, I'm fairly impressed with that number. Daytona, you know, again, just super speedways in general are typically known for being, well, relatively not exactly caution exempt, as it is well known, but Only 4 cautions here tonight with Velocity Racing League. It frankly just goes to show the caliber of driver that we have in this series. Really great to have a large group of talented drivers all here looking to put on a good show and just have a good race with one another. As the lights are off on the pace truck, and we're going to get ourselves ready to go back to green flag here in just a moment as we make our way through turns 3 and 4. Lisa, here comes the shootouts, and yeah, I gotta agree that there is gonna be some shootouts here. There's Jason Tamer, Jeffrey Fisher up in the front row, Mark Proctor, Sean Williams gonna be in your second row, James Coulibaly, Jaden Hopp in the third row. And the green flag is out here once more at Daytona for the Beach Blast 250 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Oh no, there's already trouble in the back of the field. Multiple drivers involved in this one. Oh no. Unfortunately, Lisa, I think those shootouts came a little bit further than either of us anticipated. Oh no. So I spoke a little bit too soon about the number of cautions, I think, as a little bit of commentator's curse, I think, is to blame on that one, but the field is going to be able to restack, re-rack, and get themselves ready for another run here, and I think this might technically, well, I think it might actually dip into our first green-white checkered here for the night, potentially. Marcus Regal, the insider view here from down in pit lane. Tempers are flaring inside of the driver channel where all of the drivers communicate with one another, and I you know what? Oh, you guys are fantastic. right, well, it seems to be Jason Tamer, Jeffrey Fisher, both going to be in our front row. Sean Williams, Mark Proctor taking up the second row. James Coulibaly and Spencer Chisnall going to be in our third row here tonight. Dylan Sprock, very exciting first race, and yeah, I gotta say, this is a great preview of what we are gonna see for this season, and I gotta say, I am looking forward to it. Marcus filling us in as well with some of the inside details here. There is only 44 minutes left of the official time left in the, well, of the race itself. So we are only allocated a certain amount of time before the race is ended due to time limits. So, and that is going to be about 44 minutes. So hopefully these drivers are able to see a checkered flag finish before that time. But in the case that we are not able to, the results will be determined by the yellow flag. And yes, as Marcus Regal points out, for anyone that doesn't know, in iRacing, you rent out a server. Basically, you rent out a time frame that you want to, well, have a race with your friends or with a league, whatever the case might be. You pay a very small fee. Usually it's cents on the dollar. Usually only a few dollars for, I think, a session such as this where it's a few hours in length. Not exactly forking over $10, $15 every single race. It's nothing ridiculous like that, but it is a small fee, so that way we can continue to enjoy the things that we do here on the iRacing service. But with that being said, the pace truck is back in. The green flag is back out here for the Beach Blast 250. Back to green flag racing here for the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Jeffrey Fisher, Jason Tamer, both in the front row trying to get a good run here. And you can see that they're quite separated from the rest of the pack here. And even the midfield starting to get themselves a little bunched up here. Some real exciting action starting to develop here with 2 laps left to go here at Daytona. For the Beach Blast 250, Jeffrey Fisher might be the one to take home the win here tonight. Sean Williams, Jason Tamer trying to do everything that they can. The 06 machine looking to secure a win here tonight. Put himself in a good start here for the season, and Tamer's also looking to secure that win here as he drops down to the front row into the bottom lane. Now James Coulibaly is going to have a chance here to potentially do the same here as we're on the final lap. White flag is flying as we come down the back straightaway. The checkered flag is in hand. Aaron Smith makes a move down to the bottom lane here, trying to make a move, make something happen. Aaron Smith gonna give it all that he's got here. Oh, and there's contact. It's trouble here as we make our way through 3 and 4. The whole field gets obliterated. Nicholas Corcel takes it across the line for the win with Steve Ulrich in second, James Miller in third. Oh, wow. Wow. Folks, I cannot tell you. That was incredible. That was incredible. We've got to take that back here. We've got to go back to that. Taking a quick look at the instant replay just to see what we... Oh, wow. Just look at this. This is just a... We'll take a look from above here. The whole front pack just gets obliterated. My, oh my. Don, I think you're right. I think Gareth is going to be a little upset that he missed that one. Hopefully, maybe he'll catch some of the action here after the broadcast is over, but I gotta say, that was just incredible. All right, as we get our post-race results up here and get ourselves ready for some post-race interviews, Nicholas Corcel, Steve Ulrich, James Miller, all taking your top 3 here tonight. And let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for some post-race interviews here. As the first driver that we are going to have up here in the booth tonight will be James Miller, taking home 3rd place here. James, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on your podium here tonight. I'm sure it's not exactly what you were expecting there in those final few laps, but you know, a podium's always got to be a great feeling and a good way to kick off your season here for 2023. James, I mean, what was your, you know, aside from just doing what you can and hoping for the best, I mean, what was your plans? What was your intentions here tonight at Daytona? And do you think you exceeded or at least met those expectations here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll take a 3rd place after all that. Kind of snuck by that one, but no, the plan was really just ride around for the first, I guess, 85-ish laps kind of thing. Stay out of trouble, because there's really no point in doing anything and going anywhere. Mostly just get ourselves to a decent position to work our way up. We were kind of planning that would be on fuel strategy, but managed to get up there just before that caution. I think it was lap 70-ish something. I don't quite remember, but yeah, I was able to lead for a while there. Got my teammate Jeff up there, and then we were hooked up on the outside with like 15 to go. And I was feeling really good. I felt like we were in a super solid position, and then I think I clipped the 26 car, I think it was, which unfortunately put me up into the wall. But we got that fixed, and then proceeded to run into the back of a wreck off the restart, and that really hurt the car. So it was just hoping Jeff could get something accomplished there. And then that big wreck happened at the end, and I don't think I lifted, which is a little sketchy, but the seas parted and came out 3rd place, so we'll definitely take that after Daytona.
Absolutely. It was a great race here, and it was really great to see the 09 machine out there having a really great run here, and well, really putting up a good start to the 2023 season. Now, James, looking forward into next week at Sebring, what's your thoughts? What's your expectations? What do you hope to do next week? I know usually the road course races are always kind of an iffy subject when it comes to some drivers, but James, I mean, are you feeling a little bit more confident after last year, or is it going to be much of the same of what we saw here tonight? Just hope and do the best that you can.
Yeah, I mean, Sebring's tough, especially with any stock car, and I think personally I haven't cared for how the sets drive at the road courses in the past few years. Just a personal thing, which is unfortunate because I feel like I always can come into a road course and be competitive to win. So it's really just going to have to be how practice feels coming into it. Hopefully everything goes well, but you never know with a flat, bumpy track like that. How it's gonna go and where the speed's gonna be at, but I expect to be up front or maybe in the grass. I'm not sure actually, but we'll see.
Yeah, you know, Sebring's always, I gotta agree with you. It's just one of those tracks that you never really know, because it has a mind of its own. But James, I want to thank you for joining me up here in the booth tonight. You did a phenomenal job and great work dodging all of that last lap, final turn calamity to take it across the line for third place. But hopefully next week we get to see a similar performance from you and maybe get to talk to you again.
For sure, I appreciate it. Just shout out to Jeff again. He's should be back full time this year, which would be great. Missed him last year, and he did a hell of a job out there working together with me. I think we really had a good shot if I didn't put myself in the wall. But he did a good job hanging on to it at the end. Just unfortunate circumstances. Daytona happens, but still managed to get a fifth. I'm not even sure how he snuck by after being in that wreck, but we'll take it as a team top 5 for sure.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, James, is there anyone else watching the broadcast? Anyone else that you want to give a shout out to or thank before we head out here?
Yeah, just the Team AV boys. Everyone watching, supporting us, and everyone watching, supporting everyone else. Watching the broadcast. Watch us just drive around for a couple laps, and thanks to you for putting on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, James, thank you for joining me up here tonight. Look forward to seeing you next week and hopefully get to talk to you again.
For sure, thank you.
Absolutely. You have yourself a good one.
You too.
Alrighty, folks, that was James Miller out of the booth here tonight, taking home third place. Next up is going to be Steve Ulrich in the number 52 machine down here in the booth. I think possibly, Steve, for the very first time, I think this is you're up here with me up here in the booth, taking home second place here, and for the very first time in the 2023 season. It's got to be a great feeling, especially with Daytona being the first race on the schedule, being able to secure a podium. Steve, it's got to be a great feeling for yourself and Team 52. How are you feeling after this great run here tonight and kind of evading the last-minute calamity out of Turn 4 here tonight? I mean, Steve, a lot of action here, a lot to talk about, but how did your race go, and what do you think you could have done better, and what do you hope for given tonight's success?
Well, yeah, thank Tony. First off, I want to thank Tony for the league and inviting me to the league. It's a great time racing with these guys. More of a new guy here, but appreciate the racing and everybody being appreciative of having me here. But yeah, going into I kind of got hung out of the draft a little bit. They kind of went 3 wide, and I was hung on the outside, which worked out good. I thought I was kind of screwed, but I just went high, and the wreck happened, and I tried to just avoid it, but I kind of got into the wall. I might have had a shot for the win, I thought, but overall, it was a good run. I was just trying to keep it clean and not ruin anybody else's race, pretty much.
Absolutely, yeah, and you had a great run out here. A lot of drivers did have really clean runs here tonight, just small mistakes that ultimately caused some pretty massive wrecks here, I think, tonight, but for the most part, everyone kept their nose clean and everyone put on a very solid race here. Now, Steve, you said you're a bit of a newcomer here, which, by the way, welcome to the series and great to have you here tonight. What do you kind of hope to accomplish this season, and what are you expecting to do next week at Sebring?
I'm just kind of trying to learn and get better. Like, a lot of these guys are way above my skill level, so Daytona might be my only shot to win it, but I'm just looking to race with good guys that are, clean racers and learn to get better and, hopefully get some top 10s here and there, But that's pretty much it. Just a great league, and Tony's a great guy, and just a fun league to race in. And these guys are usually pretty clean. Like you said, we had a pretty clean race except for a couple minor incidences, but I think everybody pretty much kept their nose clean.
Absolutely. Well, Steve, before I let you go here, is anyone watching the broadcast, anyone at home, anyone in the pit crew that you want to shout out and thank before I let you go here?
No, just happy to be part of the league, and once again thank Tony for having the league, and he's a great group of guys, and they're all welcoming, and it's a fun league to be in.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for joining me up here in the booth, Steve. It's great to have you, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully next week and throughout the season, and hopefully get to talk to you again here.
Sounds good, and a great job by Team Goon Squad. You guys put on a great broadcast. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I much appreciate that. We'll see you around. Alrighty, folks, that was second place driver Steve Ulrich taking home second place here tonight. And last and certainly not going to be least, the Sour Patch Machine, Nicholas Corcel in the number 45, taking home the win here tonight. Nicholas, you know, you had a very good run here in the beginning of the race. Kind of saw yourself kind of lingering around the mid-pack and back up towards the front, but Nicholas, did you expect to come away with the win here tonight, given everything that's happened in the past 100 laps that we've saw here at Daytona? I mean, it has just been a wild night, and to see yourself come out on top, it was a great thing to see. But did you see it coming? When it was only 10 laps left to go.
No, actually, I was just trying to survive. We took the green flag on that last one, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold back. Found a couple of good gaps. Going to turn 3, I was like, we'll just go to the top side. We'll see what happens. Might get put in the wall. We might, you never know what's gonna happen. So you just gotta go for it.
Absolutely. Well, you did a phenomenal job here throughout the entire race. I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked the other drivers here. Looking forward next week, heading to the road course, Sebring International. What's kind of your hopes? What's kind of your goals for next week? I know a lot of drivers from last season. Road course is not exactly their forte or their favorite thing to be on, but for the most part, everyone that does show up does a phenomenal job. Have you done any sort of practice? Have you done any preparations to get yourself ready for this year's road courses, or are you just going to take them as they are and hope to do the best that you can there?
I just kind of take them as they are, listen to some of the guys that are really fast. They give us good hints during practice on gearing and stuff like that, shifting. It helps me a lot usually, but it's just about running laps. Once you get the laps in, speed comes with it eventually. So I just kind of wing it. I'm not a big road course racer, so.
Absolutely. Well, Nicholas, it's great to see you out here and putting on top performances almost every week. And we see that 45 machine up there in the front pack. So it's great to see you starting off putting your season off to a good start by coming home with a win for the Beach Blast 250. But Nicholas, before I let you go and celebrate with your teammates and friends and family, anyone you want to give a shout out to, anyone watching the broadcast at home in the pit crew, the floor is yours, my friend.
Just appreciate everybody that watches your guys' stream. Your guys' live event is awesome. I always go back and watch the races. They're really enjoyable to watch. You guys have good coverage. And just the racers that have been here every single season. They're really fun to race with. Good group of guys. And yeah, we have fun. It's nice to race around confident people where you can hold the line. So thanks for them. Thanks for Tony to run the whole event.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me up here tonight, Nicholas, and I look forward to seeing you next week and hopefully get to talk to you again here before too long.
Yeah, we hope so. Have a good night.
You as well. Thank you. Alrighty, folks. That was Nicholas Corcel out of the booth here, taking home the win here. And we're going to have one more interview before we wrap things up here tonight. We're going to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, the man himself, Tony Hillbrands, in here at the booth tonight. Tony, man, I got to say, what a way to kick off the start of the 2023 season. It has been absolutely incredible here tonight. Unfortunately, not as fortunate for yourself here, but I mean, Tony, what can you expect from a super speedway race? It's always doesn't always work out in your favor, it seems like, when it comes to super speedways, no matter how much practice you put in. But besides all that, Tony, I mean, we've got a great season to look forward to, and so far, given the clash and the race here tonight for the Beach Blast 250, I think we've got a lot to look forward to. But Tony, I'm gonna quit jabbering. I'll let you do your thing here and give the floor to you, guys.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna just ignore tonight because, yeah, like you said, it wasn't a very good one for me. Hopefully, I mean, we had a good turnout. We had a great turnout, actually. And for the most part, we had some really good, smart racing out there. Obviously, dumb things happen at times, and end of the race, things happen. But we will be at Sebring next week. Hopefully, everyone shows up again, and we should have a couple more people showing up next week, or at least the rest of the season. This should be a pretty good season. If everybody keeps showing up, we will have some really good racing, and we'll keep putting on a great show for everyone who does come and watch. So I want to just thank everyone for coming. thank you for doing this, Mason. I know you're solo tonight and probably next week, but yeah, it'll be a good season. It'll be a good season.
Absolutely. Well, Tony, given from what I saw here tonight, I think we are definitely going to be looking forward to a great season. And like you said, a few drivers that unable to show up here tonight, but hopefully are able to make it next week as well as throughout the rest of the season here. But yeah, Tony, I think we've got a lot to look forward to, and I gotta say, it's been an honor to be here for not only the 2022 season, but to be here for the 2023 season as well. Is a great feeling, and I'm looking forward to bringing the action to the people. And so far, it seems like everyone is enjoying what they're seeing. So hopefully, we keep that momentum forward.
Definitely. And one more thing, just congrats to Crustle on winning. That was his first win in the league. We actually had a couple of really good finishes for people up there tonight, and I think we're gonna have a lot of quite a few first-time winners. There'll be some new faces, and glad you're here, and we're gonna put on a hell of a show this season.
Absolutely, I look forward to it. Well, Tony, is anyone watching the show, anyone watching the broadcast that you want to shout out to or thank, or just in general, the floor is yours before we end it off here.
As usual, it's everyone who shows up to watch. Feeling for Howie. And, having his grandma pass away. Everyone who tuned in for him. I know he kind of had bad luck towards the end of there. Just again, everyone who shows up and watches, we put this on for you, and you guys are the reason we keep doing this. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me up here tonight, Tony. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we get to talk again next week, and hopefully we get to talk to yourself up on the podium next week instead of an additional. Interview. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
We'll see. Maybe if Aaron doesn't show up, we might have a chance at a win too.
We'll see. We'll have to wait and see, and hopefully everyone at home is ready for the action, because I know I'm certainly am.
All right. Have a good one, Nathan.
You as well. Thank you, Tony. Alrighty, folks. So that is going to conclude our coverage here tonight of the 2023 Velocity Racing League Cup Series. My name is Mason Heimbaugh, bringing you the action here tonight with Team Goon Squad, and I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and catch all the action that we have here on Team Goon Squad 7 nights a week, as our broadcast season is in full tow here tonight, as we get ourselves back into the flow of racing, as it is a good time of year. So folks, once again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all next week, same time and same place, here with Velocity Racing League for the Sebring 200. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week.